All right. So Chewy is going to be put on a new Mission Impossible for Monday morning donuts. I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Krispy Kreme Pokemon donuts.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I did see that.
Everything.
I mean, I saw them, the Adidas shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, those look super cool.
So yeah, we're gonna put Chewy on the ropes to see if he can come home a hero.
Let's get it. I want that limited edition one. We're not gonna eat them. We're gonna keep them sealed.
Yeah, we're gonna vacuum seal it and then we're gonna freeze it.
There's a market in that, right, boys?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Somebody wants that.
For when the Fallout drops, we'll have
Insert-
Pokemon Krispy Kremes.
Insert in post the picture of the Cheeto-Zard.
They would probably still be good too.
Yeah, with all the preservatives in it. Yeah, it's great.
All right, well, welcome in, guys. We are hitting a milestone today, episode 30.
Dang.
We are
Episode 30 to go with the 30.
30
Nice.
to go with the 30. That's right. Well done. Quite a lot to talk about today. For starters, some Pokemon Center stuff. Pokemon Center had a random drop yesterday of some older ETBs. So I want to touch on that because it kind of segues into our other topic we're going to hit, which is the cyber attack on Pokemon that Travis had sent me over the weekend. And then
One of their shipping providers.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to talk about these guys running around with 10,000 Destined Rivals ETBs and a lot of other product that Kraus did some digging on and found us some more information.
You mean the Facebook seller that said that they had 10,000 Destined Rivals ETBs?
Yes, sir.
And we're wondering,
Yeah,
what
just-
in the world?
Just wait till you scroll down on the agenda.
Yeah, Kraus got some good intel there. So let's jump into
Oh,
it.
the Pika. Yeah.
So, Trav, I don't know if you saw yesterday, Pokemon Center had a drop. Everybody thought it was the 30th UPCs. By the time this airs, actually, on Friday, they might do the UPC drop this week. They've done back-to-back drops before. It might happen today, tomorrow, we don't know. But yesterday, it was not Pokemon Center UPCs. They had Pokemon Center Prismatic ETB bundle. They had a Destined Rivals Pokemon Center ETB bundle. Brilliant Stars Pokemon Center ETB bundle.
And you say bundle, what are they selling in addition to the
so
Pokemon
they came
Center?
with like binders or like sleeves or like
so
figures.
they're... Hey, that's smart.
So they sold like the Destined Rivals, I think ETB
Yeah.
was a Destined Rivals ETB and maybe like a Gengar.
It was a Mewtwo binder.
Oh, the purple Mewtwo binder, like the Ultra Pro ones.
Mm-hmm.
That was the 12 per sleeve binder. And it was like, was it $90 or $80?
A lot of them were priced over 100 for the bundles.
It's actually really smart with Pokemon Center.
Yeah. Well, it's the interesting thing is they just dropped those other mystery boxes where they send out email invites and you had to get an invite to go and pick up one of those boxes. And people were opening those, getting Hidden Fates ETBs, Brilliant Stars ETBs, Astral Radiance.
Here's
Yeah.
why it's so brilliant. What is the Destined Rival ETB dropped to like what, 120, 130?
I don't know.
It's been dropping. It's been dropping significantly.
But these are Pokemon Center ETBs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are all
These are the
Center.
Pokemon Center. Okay,
Yeah.
it changes the calculus a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that for all the people, because there's still, no matter how many anti-bot measures that Pokemon Center puts in, there's still actors that know how to circumvent the systems,
Yeah.
right? So you've got these people on social media that will have 1,000 units, and they won't have cases. They'll just be selling them individually.
Yeah.
Clearly, they've still figured out how to do it. But the cool thing about the bundle is that if you bundle in like binders and certain product that nobody is gonna like buy, like if that person had 1,000 ETBs from the bots and he now has 1,000 binders, you layer in enough bundled products so that you hurt the economy of flipping it from the scalpers.
Yeah.
So you dissuade the scalpers from having to be able to do it. And the
Yeah.
scalpers are different than people running bot operations to actually buy at scale, because you can be a scalper and not run like a bot farm. But if you've got like 1,000 units it would just make you hesitate to say, hey, I paid $45, $50, $60 for a t-shirt or a binder or things that I know that aren't going to sell. If I just eat that cost, even if I sell the ETB, I'm just paying back all this other stuff. Now I have 1,000 binders just sitting here.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
well, it's like what Distro does to us with their bundles, right?
It's exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, you talked about, bot farm, scalper, some nice buzzwords. In the environment that our shop is in, so relative to Pokemon Center, are we doing 0.1% of the business on a daily basis that Pokemon Center is doing?
Oh, I wouldn't even say it's 0.1.
Okay, so just for context.
It's 0.001.
Super low relative to Pokemon Center. Okay, Pokemon Center probably, it's not Pokemon, it's not Big Pikachu, it's not TPCI, right? It's Pokemon Center. It's there's their whole business unit. In that, there's 7 or 8 of us here at this shop. And if we decided to put something online, there is a way that I put a little bit of time into of figuring out how we do individual coupon codes to make sure that somebody just doesn't have a bot that hits our, website and purchases all of our stock. There's a couple different things that I feel confident we could run outside of a CAPTCHA, outside, all this anti-bot stuff that we could do with just our native POS to make it so that you can't just copy and share a coupon code and have the ability to have it be individualized and randomized and go. And I think the best one that I had that was just basically a completely out of box option for us, I think it costs like $15. Okay. So that's the point of sale system that we use. That being said, Pokemon made an announcement that they were going to use an invite only system.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Okay. So we assumed it was going to happen for the 30th, for their releases of the 30th product. Here we are,
Maybe it did and nobody got the invite.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe the people who got the invite didn't share it. I'm assuming that would have been on social media.
I'm saying,
like you would have got the email.
So they did an invite for the surprise. They did a mystery box that has shipped, and that's where people were getting some of these older Pokemon Center ETBs.
So to touch real quick on that, the mystery box, it was like plushies and an ETB, and so it
And
was
like
the
a mat.
same thing. It was a bundle.
Yeah.
But like to Krause's point, they sent out an invite, and then like Chewy is the only one of us that has gotten an invite, and when he got in there, it was sold out.
Yeah. There's a guy that plays here. He got his, and a couple of them. One of them got a Hidden Fates. One of them got an Astral ETB. But back to my point of it doesn't feel accurate that a small shop that has only been around for a couple of years versus a Pokemon Center, which has been around for probably at least 3 or 4 times longer than we have, that we would have better anti-bot options than what they have. And we don't have an unlimited budget. But we
don't know either, though, what that would look like with that much traffic through our site.
I'm sure that they probably have a lot more sophisticated bot operations than what we've been up against. But I get your point.
Fair.
But we've spent zero time. You spent $15 trying to engineer a solution. Yeah, there's a million things in my mind that I think that they could do, but that's going to open up a giant rabbit hole for next episode.
Or real rabbit hole.
We'll talk about the bot measures.
So, but that being said, it feels like nothing has changed on the Pokemon Center side. And I'm speaking from a consumer here. This has nothing to do with us running a store. We get no special access to Pokemon Center ETBs. The only Pokemon Center ETBs we can get our hands on are what people bring in to trade, right? Or what we purchase at a convention, or what we get ourselves. And so the majority of time when we speak to the Pokemon Center queues and some of the challenges is A, backed by our own personal experience trying to secure stuff for ourselves, not the store. And then B is what we hear through social media. And then C is when people walk in, right? And so it's not weird to have people walk in on a Pokemon Center drop day and have all they're doing is they're kind of walking around, but 99% of their time is spent on their phone waiting for that CAPTCHA to hit so that they can press the little bunny or press the little squirrel.
You mean people here in the shop?
Yeah, in the shop, walking around.
They're walking around browsing, and they're also shopping Pokemon
Correct.
Center.
They're not
Bunch of degenerates, man.
They're
you
not
have nothing else better to do with your time than be at our shop.
Dude, they're not shopping, Trav. They're just in a safe space where no one's going to make fun of them because they're running into things, because all they're doing is staring at their screen. Because the
guy next to him is running into things too.
Yeah, and probably what's happening is that Pokemon Center knows that between the IP address that they're from and the geolocation of the satellites, they know that they're bots. They got 30 phones here, people in the store, all trying to access from the same location.
Yeah.
Air 17, baby.
That's why nobody's able to get in.
Yeah. So anyway, it feels weird. Found out that One Piece hashtag Bandai, has put out, they make an announcement, they send an email, they say, hey, do you want this limited edition product? Then they print to order. So they're taking orders 7 to 8 months before they ever deliver the product.
That's what Chewy was saying.
But they open a window for you to go buy it, and then they close the window, and then 9 months later. And what that does is A, gives enough lead time, but B, if you miss it, like you missed it, so there's still a secondary market there, but it doesn't keep people that want it from getting it, which I think is the big thing, right? All these people want Pokemon Center ETBs or want Pokemon Center product. I don't think they're going to solve the product, but from the Pokemon Center ETB standpoint, if it was print to order, it'd be a complete. You
put the pre-order in right now. Say order as many as you want.
Yeah,
and then we'll just make sure that we shut off pre-orders 2 months before release date or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, we got 8.2 million ETBs to print. Gotcha, suckers.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden you've satisfied demand.
Yeah, that's assuming that they could print to the demand, which I don't think they can right now.
Yeah. That's another.
But demand would not be there.
Exactly. That was what I was going to say.
But this is why we said before numerous times, if you're Pokemon, you don't do anything. You don't change a thing. I mean, you've created the preconditions that exist in the marketplace right now, whether by happenstance or whether by strategic
manipulation.
Intent, you've created it to where as soon as you try to solve the demand problem or the supply problem, you're going to take the demand problem. The demand won't be there. And I've been preaching that since the first episode that the hobby would change. And so
you preached it last episode.
I just say do nothing. Just enjoy the hobby. You're along for the ride, and we'll deal with the parents who get angry when they walk in the store about 35, 38, 40-year-old kids that are stealing packs from other kids.
Yep. Yeah,
that happens.
100%. And just once again, economics 101, zoom out. Pokemon only cares about increasing revenue and profitability to their shareholders. And you have a product that everybody wants, is not found anywhere at a retail establishment, and people are literally fist fighting over it. You don't want
the old ETBs.
What's that?
The old ETBs.
What about them?
Which ones came out? I didn't hear that.
Oh, yesterday?
Yeah.
They had Brilliant Stars. Brilliant Stars is really the only old Sword
Pokemon Center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had a Lucario V-Star box, which, if I'm not mistaken, has Evolving
Skies.
Skies.
Do you think that they just hold that back in some special warehouse?
That's what I wanted to talk
3
about.
years.
Yeah, that's the whole reason I brought this up. I wanted to know your guys' thoughts on, like, does Pokemon have a backstock that they purposely hold on to, or is this something where they're just digging in the warehouse, like, oh, I didn't know we had all these extra ETBs
Let me go ultra nerd here. Never, ever assume malice when stupidity is a proper response.
Right, you said
right?
that.
Right? So never assume some deep conspiracy theory when you can actually just recognize that it's stupidity. So for me, the simplest answer to this scenario is no, they've got a couple warehouses where they don't have good controls on their products. And they found stuff, or they had stuff set aside that someone was going to buy, or they were waiting. There was a bankruptcy or there was litigation or something where funds were tied up and they couldn't do anything with it. Because that's a thing also, right? Where the funds were promised, but then they got pulled into an 11 or something like that in the US or whatever it is in Europe or anywhere else. And so they couldn't release those products. Well, now they can, and they've been sitting on them. So what do? They offer limited time bundles, and they sell things that don't sell with things they know that will, and they move stuff out of their warehouse.
What's tough about that, though, depending on how big, like if it is plausible that they actually intentionally say, hey, we're going to put 10,000 units in a warehouse storage unit, and we're going to hold it for 2 years, and then we're going to release it 3 years. Like they've done that enough times that, okay, it's plausible. It could be their playbook. But I wonder what it does. Nobody knows how many sold.
Not really.
No, but it was very limited stock. It sold out very quickly.
I know everything sells out quickly.
Well, like in comparison, it's gone. And
track the TC. Let's track the market price of those products to see if it just craters the market price, because that's the bad thing. You know, if nobody internally at Pokemon has posed the question that are we really killing the sealed collector economy when we do this? It's few and far between. Well, it's not like they're doing it every week, but it does kind of suck to say, hey, I just bought a Brilliant Stars Pokemon Center ETB, paid $300. I didn't do this. I'm just giving an example. I paid $300 for it, and now they released 5,000 back that they knew that they were going to release. If they're not careful, that could really come back to kind of hurt.
Why do you guys think they...
But hold on. There's no benefit to Pokemon holding on. If it is their playbook, there's no benefit to them. They're not increasing the price.
That's what I'm saying. I know. But they're
just holding inventory to hold inventory.
Just to have like, hey, out of the vault, you know, like Like somebody could have made the decision that, hey, we're gonna intentionally hold back some product.
Just Astral Radiance Pokemon Center ETBs in the last 90 days, 28 have sold. In the last 3 weeks, 2 have sold. And back in July, the market price, the sales were at 236, 237, and the market price for the 2 that have sold this month are 238 and 237 also.
And that's kind of like the recency bias of collectors is so strange because like for that to be $200 for a Pokemon Center ETB that's 4 years old now.
Yeah.
That's kind of mind-boggling. And nobody buys Pokemon Center ETBs.
Not
like
really.
the market price is high. We've had Pokemon Center ETBs in our shop for months.
Yeah, the velocity is really low.
We can't sell them. I mean, it's just they don't sell. People don't walk in and buy.
41 Brilliant Stars Pokemon Center ETBs sold in the last 90 days. 28 Astral Radiance, 41. So I mean, it's one every 3 days. One is selling on TCG
41,
Player.
and let's just assume that eBay is double the velocity, which I doubt that they are.
Oh, I can check.
You've got 60, let's say 60 or 70 Pokemon Center ETBs for Brilliant Stars.
One a day.
Yeah, you sell one a day. That's not. I mean, if you're quote a sealed investor collector, even though the number on the screen says it's $200, that's not a very good sale through rate. And that's the hobby. There's so much to buy. Like for me, it's tough for me to keep up as a collector, and so it does kind of dissuade me from wanting to collect because every 2 months now with a 2-month release cycle, we have 6 sets this year. There's like 4, 5, 6, 10 SIRs, and you gotta kind of pick and choose. And so it's just the amount of optionality is so great that it's just.
Why do you guys think they didn't put these in mystery boxes this time around and they decided not to send an email invite anymore? Or do you think there's a rhyme or reason to that, or they're just testing new things, or what?
With my first thought always going to operations, I think the mystery bundle versus just bundling the stuff, I think it was just operational overhead. I think the amount of time to put together the mystery box versus the amount of time to be able to just grab 2 products. I mean, when you bundle things, all you need to do is you need to have a photo and you need to have a spreadsheet telling you what you got, and you match it up 1 for 1. I'm going to do one of these and one of these. Here's my price point. With a mystery bundle, you have to go through the effort of value, and then what items can I use? It just takes a little bit more time. So my initial thought process is, oh, it's just easier to do the bundles, and they have the quantitative proof behind it because they just did the mystery box. That's my
That's
my thought.
Why they just went away with the email system. But anyways, we should probably move on. So talking about limited stock that they had for these older ETBs and stock available on the Pokemon Center, we had something kind of crazy happen. There was a cyber attack. Oh,
Yeah.
Lord. So little snippet here just from, Googling it. Recent Pokemon Center cyber attack targeted CEVA Logistics, a third-party shipping and fulfillment vendor used by the Pokemon Center in the UK and Europe. So it seems to only have impacted UK and Germany. The breach forced the company to cancel recent customer orders and resulted in potential theft of personal data. There were order cancellations for 30 celebrations. Data was compromised, and like I said, it looks like the affected regions were the United Kingdom and Germany. Don't think this has ever happened before. Do you guys?
with Pokemon Center.
Yeah, with a cyber attack, security breach, data info leaked. Excuse me.
It didn't seem like it was that big. I mean, it just customer names and addresses. It's like the fulfillment labels. It's like, hey, I got this box. There's no payment information. I need you to ship this package from here to here. And as a result of you shipping that package, we don't have the. What's weird about this whole thing though is CEVA Logistics. They are they don't deliver to a person's door, right? They're
not final mile. Yeah.
And so the customers that would have been caught up in this would have been either getting a boatload of product or it was going from an intermediary. Because when I order from Pokemon Center, I get a single box.
Yeah.
Right? It's shipped from USPS, or I don't even know who ships it, but it's not CEVA. And so just talk about the technicality of how this would happen through the supply chain. You have pallets of stuff that need to be shipped to a customer. And even if it's like a regional hub, they're not going from, Pokemon Center. Like, where's Pokemon Center's main fulfillment warehouse that Pokemon Center prints out of?
In the UK, they use CEVA to then get to the postal service.
Okay, so they ship it to the postal service. The postal service then just has the individual labels.
No, the labels are already on it, right? But it doesn't work because UK is not the same mail system as the US. But it'd be like, hey, we're going to put all the six 2 area codes on one pallet. So everybody that ordered that has this area code, and then Siva transports that
makes sense. If
to
that's what they're
the
doing.
post office.
Like the Kansas City, the Kansas City hub.
Correct.
We're gonna say, hey, we're gonna ship this to the Kansas City hub.
And
they're gonna receive it, and then they're actually gonna deliver it to the people's individual.
Yeah. USPS uses third-party carriers to move big amounts in between the hubs, right? And so this is the same sort of thing. And they had their data breach. And once again, it's no account details, and it's no like accounts, but it is name, address, and what they ordered. No payment details or anything.
It is what they ordered?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Part of me, conspiracy theory hat, I was like, maybe this is an internal operations. The reason why it would never be eternal is that you don't fake a cyber security event, just to catch people. But secretly, like James Bond, I'm like, oh, they caught the anti-bot scammers. They figured out how to get where the packages are going, and they've some sort of like triangulated all of the packages to say, hey, we've got all of these different orders that are delivering within this hub. That's a statistical anomaly across every other metro area. So what we're discovering is that, you've got the top 20 bot farm operations are having the product delivered that looks way different than these other cities. And so it's just kind of like statistical anomalies, and we caught you. And we're going to say that it's a cyber attack, to say, because it says, hey, and we canceled your orders.
Yeah, that's the weird one.
It's like, instead of coming out to say, hey, we've solved the bot problem and we think that we did it, if they came out and said that, then it's like, oh, well, now the bot people have got to figure out how to re-engineer. Let's give them some time. So part of me is like, man, maybe this was like some like covert operation to...
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like...
It was just cyber.
The cancellation of the orders is the weird part. If you're listening to this in 2026, in the last 12 months, you've received no less than 2 official data breach documents if you live in the United States. Like, that's the average, is your data has been breached against your will and against protections, and you get these letters, and then you get some offer. You get free Experian credit monitoring, or you get something, right? Like, it's a thing that happens pretty consistently over and over and over again. So we're kind of desensitized to it. But for them to cancel the order that's like
how bad of a beat is that for you? It's, you know what? Hey.
Yeah.
All the bad guys know where you live.
Your information got stolen, and you don't get your order, mother.
Yeah.
It's like, what? I mean, that order should be free. Send it to me for free. I mean, don't cancel it. You already lost. You already had my data breached. Now you're going to penalize me by taking the one order that is so hard to get.
Yeah.
You know how much of a double whammy that is from like a human behavior perspective? I don't care about my data. I care about the product.
Yeah, what's wild about that too is, like, if you think about just how long they probably sat in queue for that order and all the hassle.
At least give me dibs on that Celebrations UPC when it comes out. Give me that. Where's my invite email for that? I should get 5 invite emails for that experience. Don't give me Experian. Give me what I want. I want product, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a number of how many. It's even worse if it's like 175 people. Yeah. Like then all of a sudden, I'm like,
but think about that. Think about if your product, like, hey, yes, I won. I've never been able to order from Pokémon Center. I don't try that hard, but 20 minutes is too long for me, so I'll give it 20. I got guys here in the store, so I'm the shop owner. I got guys here in the store that's on their phones, getting paid company work time, spending 2.5 hours trying to get something. They're like, oh, yes, I got it. Yeah, you've been staring at your phone for the last 2 hours, not working.
It's more like 3 hours.
Yeah, you clocked out for that.
Well, the worst part about that is when somebody does get in, everybody else gets error 17.
Yeah, you get toasted.
Wi-Fi.
And then they get so happy that you got it, and then 2 days later, be like, hey, sorry,
got canceled.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's wild.
Sorry for you guys.
Well, where there isn't a shortage of product is some of these Facebook sellers, which is our next topic here. So let's jump into that real quick.
Yeah, I don't necessarily feel comfortable dropping the dude's name, right? But there's a post, and this one individual is in multiple Pokemon groups on Facebook. And in one of the groups, he posted that he had 10,000 Destined Rivals ETBs. And he had hey, if you're going to buy 100...
Real quick for context, do we have a timestamp? on like, was that before reprints, after reprints?
This is like 2 weeks ago or a week. It's actually this week. It's within the last 7 days from our podcast.
Gotcha.
I think it's like on Thursday.
Okay.
Last week. By the way, update since then, he only has like 60 remaining.
That's crazy.
So there's a couple things that this guy does that are highly intelligent. So I don't know the scope of people he's got or any of that, but he's offering, first of all, he puts like TCG not market, but what they're like, when you look for it, it's like the first price that's up there. It's not market price. So you can't go back to market price for anything. It's just like what is being sponsored.
It's the headline price.
It's the headline price. It's like the Google ads price, right?
And sometimes that price is the right price and sometimes it's not. It's
not.
Just a algorithm driven seller that I don't even know what causes that. I think you got to be a hobby store plus a gold star seller plus something else. And even if you're not the lowest price, you can still show up.
Yeah.
But you can't be that far away from the lowest price. So it's kind of like a weird multi-step determination.
So he had him at 112 for, these are regular Destined Rivals ETBs, 112 for under 100, 107.50 at 2,000 plus, and then 107 at 5,000 plus. That was his number. He sold 10,000 in about 18 hours because he updated his post and changed his price. And then, he sold 1,000, not 10,000. He sold 1,000 and updated his price and then came back and he had like 500 left. And then now he's got less than 50. And so as I kind of dug into what he's got going on here, he's got a pretty okay business model in the sense that he takes current modern prices and he trades it into right now middle era stuff. So a couple of the deals that he's got going on is a couple things. He'll take his booster box of Forbidden Light and trade it for 37 packs of Forbidden Light. And so he's valuing loose packs over sealed.
He's just saying this in the comments for people that want to trade?
He posts.
Oh, okay.
He's posting up to like 20, 30 times a day in these different groups. And so another thing that he's chasing right now is Generations packs. So he's got basically, hey, if you give me Generations packs, if you give me 17, I'll send you a Lost Order booster box, right? So he's not just doing cash transactions. He's actually changing inventory and diversifying in that way.
Yeah, just speculating on what it is
Correct.
The better thing to hold on to and get the upside on.
And there's a lot of volume there. And what I recognize from his sales post is he's roughly 10% under market price for anything that he sells.
Okay. Yeah. And he would pay the fees anyways from TCG Player or eBay. So that's perfectly fine. And he's getting 1,000 times more sales velocity on social media than he ever would be in lowest listing on TCG.
There's another one. He's only doing large deals, so shipping is minimized.
Yep.
And he has done such a good job building his business that when people send him stuff, he doesn't pay until he receives it.
Yeah, I don't hate on the business, but where do you think he's getting like the older stuff? If he's trading, like if you have a strategy where you're trading X for Y and the Y is older, that's like a trade up model. That makes perfect sense. We do that every month here in the store. Our inventory goes up. We give people cash. So
yeah, but Destined Rivals isn't like...
That's my point.
Where the 10,000 Destined Rivals come from?
Yeah.
Because that's not mid-era. He didn't trade for that. He got those somewhere, though.
He didn't have that many people trade in 10,000. And so it just makes you wonder where his supply connection come from.
He bought it. He put a want to buy post up for Destined Rivals, buying it at 10% or 8% under market. And he just bought a ton of it. I can't quantify that.
You think that he had 9,000 people send onesies and twosies or 5,000 people?
No, I think he had 90 people send him 10 cases.
So
and he paid.
It's like there's like 20 individual card shops here in town. So that would be the strategy. And I just want to unpack this because there is a way that you could get really good scale. We're a card store. We sell on TCG Player. Let's say a new set release comes out. These aren't the numbers we get, but for simple math, let's say we get 1,000 booster boxes. And I know that I want to liquidate half of them on TCG Player, right? So I sell 500 booster boxes on TCG Player. I got to do 500 shipping labels, 500 orders, fill everything up. Or I call the card shop down the street. There's a card shop guy, who says, hey, you know what? I'll buy all those from you at 87%. And I say, oh, okay, great. Because I'm going to make the same amount of money and I don't have to fulfill them. So I'll actually sell them all to you for 85%. And then my 1,000 ETBs I get from a distributor, I'm just going to give you 500 at 85% market a week after it releases, 2 weeks after it releases. If he's built the connections out across several mid-market, small market shops that actually get allocations, that is 100% plausible on the numbers. Like the 10,000 is not that difficult. All it takes is 5-10 relationships with card shops to actually do that at that scale. But the speculative nature of the ups and downs and the swings, that's the part of it where you've got to have some big funding or some big cojones to say, hey, I'm going to buy 10,000 Destin. And in this case, I'm selling them right before the reprint happens.
Sure.
Because so it's just you're coming off of your big supply because you know that you're about ready to double down and re-up it. But even at Destin, when Destin came out with the ETBs, like I don't know at what point they were selling for like 200 an ETB or 150. Like that set was selling high.
Yeah.
So even at 85%, like he would be theoretically taking a loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he's getting his product from this multi-shop buying at scale model, which like so that's your theory.
I need to add one more. Reduce the sophistication of the business. I'm not saying this dude is not sophisticated, but for sake of the conversation, reduce the sophistication. Start with $100,000. Turn your inventory from $100,000 into $500,000, and then don't care about what you have in cost and anything else anymore.
That's our model. I mean,
pull your $100,000 out, and you're playing with house money for the rest of your life. And make a couple good bets, more than you made on bad bets. And all of a sudden, you're like the guy at the casino who's now getting put in the penthouse suite because he's up $1.4 million playing blackjack on $25 hands.
I don't hate the game. I actually love the game. I love the model. The only thing that I don't like, and this is just pure speculation, if it's because I have this theory, and I think I've seen it. I don't have any proof of it. I think proof would be really easy to find, but I actually don't care that much to actually figure it out. If it's an actual distributor or a pseudo company that's a brand or an offshoot of a distributor that's creating phantom sellers that actually circumvents product going to smaller card shops, middle card shops, even larger card shops, like Excel Brands, like we contacted the new Pokemon distributor that they acquired, and they won't even touch us because they only touch multi-state, multi-franchise brands, right? So you got to have 500 stores, right? Well, I've got one store. I'm thinking about opening a second store. So I might have 2 stores, right? I need more product. We want more product. And what pains me, and we're such a very, very, very small percentage of the overall human people that are into the hobby. But what I don't like about it is that if that supply isn't making the market because a distro has figured out how to capitalize on the profitability and they're afraid to say, hey, we're charging market or we're doing a bundle, it seems like a lot of effort to funnel that there, but that is a theory. Yeah. And so, I mean, you got that theory, you got the theory that maybe he's just this awesome savant that's able to.
So like where I get tripped up on all this is when you're talking about trading modern for mid-era stuff, you've still got to look at like sales velocity, right? I can't imagine he's moving Ancient Origins super fast. Like
no, but you saw how much Phantom Forces he has.
Yeah, but when you said that he's selling in bulk, like he's selling in large amounts, you're not going to sell mid-era stuff in large amounts.
Forces picture from? Is that something new?
That's within the last 3 weeks.
Like that number of packs, that's not a lot. I mean, I don't know, but you see all the ones behind. He's got 30 of them behind there, and if they're all full,
but again, we've
got a decent amount of inventory in our warehouse. Listen, if this guy's been in the hobby since that era and he bought that stuff back then and he's just figured out the return on invested capital for holding it and knowing that an average set, doesn't matter what it is, from buying it at MSRP to selling it 5 years later, you're never going to not outbeat the S&P 500. And that's why every other person out there is collecting Pokemon right now from an investing standpoint. Like if that's actually happening, this guy was just ahead of his time. Good for him.
Yeah, again, though, I'm just back to Josh's point about him selling stuff as the bulk lots in large amounts. You're not going to move XY in large amounts, right?
Brother. Who is selling the most Pokemon in the United States currently right now? Is it GameStop? No. Is it Minty Gem? No.
No, it's Rip and Shippers.
It's Rip and Shippers, bro. It's breakers. And so where else can you go buy with a 10% discount to market and sell above market and have people buy your product? Rip and Ships, man. And so where do you go when you've got a 2-year following and all of a sudden everybody gets excited about this Phantom Forces and wants to pull this card? What do? Well, you go find who's selling Phantom Forces and you go buy it. And this guy's got it.
Right, but you said he's selling in bulk, right?
here's an example.
Even rip and shippers can't afford 500 or 5,000 distant rivals ETBs at 107 a pop.
So I'm trying to see what he's selling currently. He's got a few hundred prismatic ETBs that he's selling right now at 136. Market's 166. You figure it out, right? It's not that large of an amount. You buy 100, it's $17,000. It's hard to bankroll that when you're an individual, but if you're a rip and shipper, $17,000 from inventory that you feel confident.
If I was trying to figure this out, I would go back to 30 days of his post history and do the math. Take 10,000 unit times the number of units and just do a cumulative revenue, a number, to figure out over the last 30 days, how much revenue is he changing over? And I don't know how much it is. I mean, listen, we do about $300,000 a month in revenue, having one brick and mortar store, $3.6 million a year, let's say. If he's running a single shop and we do the math, 10,000 ETBs, 1,000 ETBs at $100, right? Mm-hmm. That's 100 grand.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a third of what we do a month. Now, I'm just saying, is his annual equivalent of what he's posting, is it more than $3 million?
Yeah.
Is it 10 million? Is it 20 million? Like, you can figure this out, is my point. If you get to the point where you're saying, hey, if you just did the cumulative total of everything, all of his post history, if it's $100 million revenue annualized operation, that's a much different scale, right? Like that is something to where that reinforces my theory that, no, somebody's feeding this guy.
Yes.
Like this is, or you've got Pokémon Center Team Rocket in the back reprinting Phantom Forces because they know for the same print capacity, they can get a seller like this that all of those Phantom Forces packs are a year old.
Yeah.
And they've reprinted them. And I'm not saying like that would be the most shadiest thing ever, but it just brings up theories about, I don't think you have $100 million revenue business by just buying and flipping individual units online. Like where you're getting your product from is either from distributor or maybe it's a combination of both, like I don't know.
Well, and here's the other thing. He's not the only guy doing this. He's the only one that we know. There's got to be plenty of people that are holding inventory in the middle of this that when they saw the market rise, or maybe at the beginning of Mega, they owned a brick and mortar shop and they continued to buy, but they didn't sell any and they sat on it, right? Like that's a world too. And there are other people, because once again, and I know we're running late, but Economics 101, maybe this is actually a 300 level class. The businesses don't go out of business because they're a bad business idea. Generally, they go out of business because they can't cash flow. And so if all of a sudden we were in a spot that we couldn't cash flow and we were sitting on 500 booster boxes and we needed to turn them into cash right now, we've talked multiple times here. We ran ourselves out of breath talking about how slow things take to sell sometimes. Yeah. And if you needed to turn that, there are people that are willing to come in and buy at a discount, just like in any environment, and take your inventory and turn it into cash. And yeah, maybe that's a horrible idea when the market is $200 for a booster box. But if you bought them from distributor and you're in them for $105 and he's going to buy them for $155, you just found an extra $50 per box that were just sitting and you couldn't sell them in your local game store because you don't have enough. So
watch, this guy doesn't sell anything, and this is just a social media account.
Fantastic.
And this whole model is just to make revenue off of Instagram and X from creator monetization.
I love it.
And he's just posting all of these things, and like there's not a single person that has bought anything.
Yeah.
He's getting all this comment, all this love, and it's all 100% fake.
Could be.
Yeah,
Could be AI, man.
I love it.
It's just 100% fake. It's like,
all right. Well, what time is it?
I do believe
that's a business model in itself.
That it is Tinker time.
Is it Tinker time?
What are we doing?
Are
we going to do the Tuesday Dungeons and Dragons?
No, we don't have time for that today. That might be just a whole episode in its own.
I actually just want to play that here in the shop.
I'm saying, bro.
For the Christmas party or something.
I got a ton of ideas.
Let's just get some beer, close the shop down, come here for the Christmas party, cater food in, and play D&D Pokemon with you, the storyteller, for like 4 hours.
I'll dungeon master it. Yeah, we could do that. I got a ton of ideas. I got Tinker time out the wazoo, brother. But today we're going to do fact or fiction.
Okay.
So here's how this game's going to work. It's actually going to be more like true or false. Travis, I'm going to make a statement. You're going to explain to the viewers why that statement is true. And Josh is going to explain to the viewers why that statement is false.
All right.
Just so that the viewers themselves can make their own opinions.
This is like pardon the interruption.
Yes, even if
what their model was.
Even if you disagree with it, you have to tell me why it's true.
Yep.
All right, so first one. Here we go. Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. You have to explain why it's true.
Yeah. Listen, man, the Eagles, they're stacked, bro. I mean, the Eagles are so stacked right now. You got Jalen Watson and Jason Kelce coming back, boys. You know that. He's still got more in the tank. He's going to come back and take that O-line. Everybody else is soft in the division. The division is super soft right now. Not a whole lot going on over there. And then plus, everybody's like, you know, who's going to beat them?
Who's going to beat him, bro?
Who's going to beat him? The Chiefs
right.
ain't got nothing. I mean, they're just all washed up. You got Kelce and Swift. He's just a distraction for the whole season. I got to be careful because I'm in Kansas City. But, hey, listen, I'm sorry. Mahomes, I mean, he's just, you know, he's always out of shape nowadays. I mean, you look at him and it's like, dude, Tom Brady was always in shape when it started, man. The Chiefs don't start, and it's like the season starts and they're like, hey, it's time to get back into shape and back in the effort.
That's right.
Who else is going to beat him?
I'm saying.
Josh Allen ain't going to beat him. I mean, Josh Allen can't ever deliver. I mean, it's just choke artist over and over. I love you, Josh Allen. I love watching you, but you ain't going to beat him.
I'm going to put this on loop in the store just so everybody walks in. Let's hear Travis rant about how the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl. All right, Cross, why is it false?
The Rams.
The Rams.
Matthew Stafford coming off 46 touchdown passes. He's got Puka and Devontae. They averaged almost 35 points a game. So you're right. The Bills probably stand a good test, but it's the Rams. Rams are Vegas's favorite. Eagles aren't even on the top 5 list. I mean, Chiefs have better odds than the Rams. Or
the
Chiefs have better odds than the Eagles
before they even face them. The Rams won't even make it to the NFC championship game.
Dude, they got Myles Garrett and Trent McDuffie.
All right.
I don't even think the Rams will get out of the wild card round.
Wow.
You guys did great. That was awesome. All right, but we got to do it with something.
Hey, sorry, Kelce, I love you, bro. Favorite player of all time. You're the GOAT. I don't know much about Swifty, but Mahomes, man, I love you too, bro. So when you come into that store, you're in the best shape ever.
Yes. All right, a Pokemon-related one. Pikachu will end up being the most expensive card from Ascended Heroes. Why is that true, Travis?
Because everybody knows Pikachu. Not everybody knows the other characters.
Okay, nice, short, simple, to the point. Josh, why is it false?
Because Gengar fans have unlimited pockets and their egos. They have Napoleon syndrome. And so they can't allow another card in a set to be the most valuable. And so Gengar fans will continue to prop the price up of the Mega Gengar SIR. And on top of that, there's other Pikachus to choose from that are recent. It's not the banner art, but there aren't many Mega Gengars, and there aren't many great Gengars that have been printed in Modern.
That's a good point.
But we've had 3 Gengar SIRs since Fusion Strike. Fusion Strike 1, you've got the Ascended Heroes 1, and now you got the one coming up in Celebrations.
Yeah, and you do have more Pikachus in Celebrations too, though.
Yeah.
You have a whole set of Pikachus coming.
Nobody cares about the 30 set.
Fantastic. All right, last one. And this one, I really want like a serious take on. Travis,
I've been giving you serious takes.
Okay, no, I know, but like, put your thinking caps on. Because we just talked about this last week. Winds and Waves is coming. Travis, explain to me a world where Winds and Waves drops and nothing changes in the market. And then Josh, explain to me what will change in the market with Winds and Waves. We talked about Winds and Waves and new generation sets and how they typically don't perform well. What would have to go right for Winds and Waves to drop and not crash the market for a new generation set? Not saying it's going to, just what would be the ideal scenario?
Well, the market's not going to change because as I walk into my neighborhood at home and I see all the kids on the street, they're all into Pokemon. I mean, Pokemon's back with a vengeance, baby. I mean, they got so many kids in the Pokemon right now. You got so many people my age that are still getting back into the hobby. We got people that are walking in the store saying, hey, they got the nostalgia fired back up. In terms of the overall demographics of those in the Pokemon, you feel like Pokemon's still on the ascent. It's still climbing. It's tough to say that on this side of the aisle because it's been so hot for so long, but you just got more people coming in. And then they have their multimedia franchise approach. They got the game coming out. They're going to hit with that. Hopefully they drop a movie. I mean, we've all been hoping for a movie. If they can get that going. So between the video game, the TCG Pocket on the app side of things, they just got a lot of good stuff going. More people coming in, and it's going to...
Love it.
It's going to take off.
Hell yeah. All right, Kraus, what is the worst case scenario here for Winds and Waves?
That base set is dedicated to only new Pokemon in the Winds and Waves. So when that happens, and they don't introduce a new gimmick, so no tag team, no trainers, no megas, none of that crap. When they release that and the people that have made the last few games are still in charge of making this game, where we've seen such wonderful opportunities exist inside of the gaming world, most recently Pal World, the relative collapse of ZA, etc. That's just going to be reciprocated inside of the card set. And so when the game comes out and it's 5, 6, 7 years behind everything else, the set is going to suffer. There's going to be no Pokemon people want to collect. The 8 million people that bought the game aren't enough to support the hobby. They're not enough to carry the set. Once again, we've had this conversation. What Pokemon's going to carry the set? Whatever new Pokemon that they release there is not going to be enough to carry that set. There's not enough following.
All right, cool. We'll see what happens. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks for joining us. We will catch you next week. Have a great weekend.
Appreciate you.